Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad. I'm Rasheeda Qasim, lecturer in English at Government Girls Degree College, Larkano. And the topic of my today's lecture is The Road Not Taken, which is a narrative poem by Robert Lee Frost. This comes in the poetry section from the course of B.Sc Final. Let's discuss about the author first. Robert Lee Frost was born in 1874 and died in 1963. He was a modern American poet whose poetry contributed a link between the American poetry of 19th century and that of the 20th century. He faced grief and loss of his siblings in his life. His mother died of cancer in 1900. His sister died in mental hospital in 1929, where she remained for 9 years under treatment but could not survive. His elder son, Eliot, died of cholera, and then his younger son, Carol, committed suicide in 1940. His wife developed breast cancer and died of heart failure in 1938. Dear students, in spite of all these sorrows, Robert Frost appeared as a successful poet and was being honored frequently during his lifetime. Robert Frost received 4 times Pulitzer Prize for Poetry, which is indeed a great honor. He also achieved Congressional Gold Medal for his poetic works in 1960. He was named Poet Laureate of Vermont in 1961. One important thing was that he did not complete his university education, even though he was awarded with honorary degree from B.Sc College as well as from Oxford and Cambridge universities. Very important thing is this, that Robert Frost was famous for sketching images in the mind of his reader through poetry and was interested to bring new features, modern features with the images of nature, images taken from the countryside or from everyday life or from the rural society in the poetry. And this poem, The Road Not Taken, also creates a type of image in our mind to select one's own choice. And inscription which is written on his gravestone is, I had a lover's quarrel with the world. What is the setting of the poem? The setting of the poem is Yellowwood. Yellowwood suggests autumn season in forest, when the color of the leaves turn yellow. Figuratively, the setting of the poem may be a moment of one's life when a person is in undecisive condition due to having dilemma. As we see in the beginning of the poem, the poet experiences the same condition. The poem was published in 1916 during the period of World War I. Figuratively, it proposes the situation of one's life when a person faces dilemma, which path to take or which choice to go on. The title of the poem is The Road Not Taken. Now, which road is not taken? The title is ambiguous. So, the mood of the poem, the setting of the poem can either way be taken, optimistically or pessimistically. But we here consider the optimistic apprehension of the poem. Let's have an overview of the poem. Poem The Road Not Taken symbolizes the journey of life. In this poem, we are told that life sometimes offers opportunities. The choice of these opportunities is basically put to test our abilities and confidence that how far we do have potentiality to make right decisions. When we sacrifice one path or one opportunity over the other, it means we should be confident enough to face its challenges. In this way, we can come out from the state of dilemma. Here, we observe the poet in the beginning of the poem. The poet was in an undecisive condition, that which path or which choice he would take on. So he was having two choices before him. He was having two roads before him, and out of these two roads, he needed to take only one choice, only one road. Therefore, without taking the stress of better or worse results, there is need to just move on to opt for such decisions or choices which alter our life completely. These are the life altering decisions, life altering choices. And this thinking will boost up your confidence, and you decide then carefully which way to go for. Analysis. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. In these expressions, poet seems in a state of dilemma. He experiences crossroads in his life. Figuratively, it suggests two choices of life. Poet considers both of the roads equally dangerous and equally promising. He feels reluctant to judge which way to go for or which choice to opt for. Yellowwood relates to the season of autumn. It also proposes the old age or inactive state of mind. It suggests poet attains such age of his life when he could not easily leave one choice and move to another choice. The expression, sorry I could not travel both, proposes regret of poet that he cannot travel on both of the roads. Figuratively mentioning, he has to select one choice and has to sacrifice the other choice. He has to select one path and leave the other path. In a very concrete way, dear students, we can relate these expressions to our everyday life. That sometimes we also cannot avail two choices or two opportunities at the same time. And once decided to opt for one choice, we cannot trace back from it. We need to hold on with it until its result would come out, whether better or worse. Figuratively, the poet advises whether he follows blindly the path of others or he would make his independent decision. He is also making us to realize that try to use your genuine talent by selecting your own path. He wants to say, follow your own path. His weight, his condition is showing that he is thinking which way to go for, either to make a unique decision or to go on as usual a common person goes. Moving ahead, we see, then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though, as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. The condition of the two roads was like that the first road was filled with footsteps, whereas the second road wanted to be walked upon. Both of the roads had their own pros and cons and were equally fair, but the author looked at the second path. That was the path which no one wanted to take, or it was the road travelled by fewer people. Figuratively, he chose the unique path for his life because, comparing to the first path, his mind was appealing to go for the second path, and thus he decided the second path to go on. The expression as just as fair proposes that the second road is exactly same and equally beautiful as the first one is. Grassy and wanted wear, hence no one had gone from this road, and for the poet it may appear more challenging and more adventurous. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way. I doubted if I should ever come back. In these expressions, poet highlighted life is journey. During this journey, a person is asked to take decision whether to go with mainstream or to go alone and select a different choice for himself. In these expressions, Robert Frost mentions one road would lead on to another road, and there is no coming back. Therefore, it is really important to make the right choice because we cannot retrace our path and come back. In this way, dear students, we observe author does not regret for the decision, though the path he took contains dried leaves all over and seemed as if no traveler has walked on that path. Figuratively, it means poet decided to go for the choice which nobody has availed before him. He followed his path independently. And once he selected the second path, it means now he had lost to avail the chance of coming back for taking the first road. In these expressions, poet intends to say he sacrificed first option over the second option. He selected the second choice, the second road, the second path, and he left the first road. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Here, the expression with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages, refers to the state of poet's satisfaction, which would he experience or recall years later, for the reason that he took a unique path which nobody has taken before him. He developed confidence to select his opportunity independently. He did not follow others, but he listened his heart and followed his own path. Road relates to life because the two roads diverged, which the speaker face symbolizes the dilemma of having two equal choices in his life. Road less traveled symbolizes the choice which generally a normal person does not opt. Poet's selection of second road shows this was the hard choice which mostly requires great confidence. Only genius people can dare to go for it. Poet by this poem proposes no matter what result may come out of the decisions that we make in life. But the important thing is this: whether we are capable of making decisions of our life without copying others. Are we that much confident enough? The path we choose decides our future and our destination. Therefore, there arises a question: are we capable to create some innovations? And what kind of life altering decisions we have made? Are we that much able to create some betterment and bring change beside the mainstream population? Discussion. This poem radically changes our minds by putting questions. What kind of opportunities do we avail amid the dilemmas of our life? Are we in the category of the people who follow others blindly? After reading of the poem, dear students, you get your minds revolutionized along with these questions that do we use our logic or not, or just we make decisions to please others? Is our life filled with such regrets in which we say, would that I have taken the other path, then I might have made with some kind of better situation? Just rethink, students, and and ponder on the things or the decisions we make in our lives. There is a great need to look on and inquire how far we are independent while making decisions of our lives. Have we developed enough confidence to face the challenges? Have we developed wisdom and self confidence in ourselves? Most importantly, when you face such moment of dilemma in your life, then your position should not be like that you stand with regrets, saying, alas, I would have taken the other path, which would have better for me. Your life should be free from such regrets for selecting wrong choices. Therefore, don't regret. Try to be confident. Develop courage and choose the path independently without copying others. Try to avail the opportunities which life offers you and then hold on confidently with those choices, whatever the result comes. The most important thing is this: don't follow others. Try to be the one whom world follows. And this is what the message of the poem is. Dear students, let's have a look in the past for a moment. Imagine about the Wright brothers who invented and built the flying airplane. They did not follow others, but they followed their own paths and made the mark with their unique decisions. While attempting experiments, Wilbur Wright, the elder brother, died during piloting. But the younger brother, Orville, carried out experiments, and finally he went successful in flying airplane. This shows that they were not the part of mainstream population. They followed their own path and they were stick with their unique decisions that human being can fly with the help of airplane. We have also an example of Thomas Edison, who invented light bulb. He brought tremendous success due to his unique decision for not following others. We have Alexander Graham Bell, an engineer who is credited with inventing telephone. He listened his heart and followed his own path. We have Henry Ford, famous automobile manufacturer. He sold millions of cars and became a world famous business leader. These people thrive the world with their unique decisions and matchless confidence. We have Albert Einstein, who developed theory of relativity and shook the pillars of physics and got Nobel Prize in physics. We have Steve Jobs, who revolutionized technology by giving concept of personal computers like iPod and iPhone. And we have Bill Gates, popularly known as business magnate. He is co-founder of Microsoft Corporation. He became world's top most billionaire by developing computer softwares. There is a galaxy of people who trusted their self-confidence and revolutionized the world with their unique decisions. Of course, all they have passed from the dilemmas and different choices. But what made them unique? There are a great number of people: William Shakespeare, G.B. Shaw, Henry Fielding, Sir William Scott, Aristotle, Socrates, great many philosophers are there. But they choose the unique path for their lives. They did not follow the path of others. Feedback. Dear students, assess how far can you develop confidence while making right decisions of your life. How much you think independently for the unique choices in the condition of dilemma. Do you follow others' paths blindly? And dear students, figure out some personalities of the world who are best known for their unique decisions. How did they choose opportunity while the mainstream even could not think of? Discuss them with your contributions. Thank you.